An Americus police officer responded to a domestic dispute call at about 9:30 this morning at an apartment complex close to Georgia Southwestern University. A Georgia Southwestern officer also responded to the call as backup. Chief Mark Scott told us in a press conference a little while ago both officers encountered a suspect. Now, we're not told how that shooting happened, but the Americus police officer has passed away. The other officer was airlifted to Macon, Georgia, and is in critical condition. Now, the suspect, who is at large, has been identified as Wfxl. He's a black male, 32 years old, and apparently is a local. Now, those are the details that we have for now. There's a press conference expected to be held in a little bit. Chief Scott is advising residents who come in contact with him not to approach the suspect because he is considered armed and dangerous. There are various law enforcement officers from all over Southwest Georgia. There's a helicopter that's been in the air for a little bit, just circling the area in search of the suspect that's at large. Those are all the details we have for now. Once we get some more, we'll bring that to you. For now, in Americus, Georgia, I'm Tosin Fakila.
Welcome back to Fox 31 News at 10. I'm Amir Jacobson. Our top story tonight is the deadly shooting in Americus. Right now, Jasmine Hankerson and Raymond Tubb are both on the scene. Let's check in with Jasmine on the latest coming out of Americus.
Yeah, Amir, I'm still here, and in the past half hour, there haven't been many updates. Police are still looking for 32-year-old Wfxl. That's the man they say shot and killed Americus police officer Nicholas Smar this morning and shot Georgia Southwestern officer Jody Smith, leaving him in critical condition. Now, I spoke with the residents in Americus this evening because both of these officers were from this area, and they say that they're shocked and they just want justice for this all.
Sweet. He was a sweetheart. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve it.
I was very shocked about it. Very shocked. Because we don't see too much like this happening in American churches. It's simple to the thing.
Yeah, my heart go out to them because you might want to be an officer one day, and then look what they have to go through, and all the people saying, look, officer killing folks. Their life in jeopardy too. You never know where you go to somebody's house, bam, put a gun on.
Again, Limbrick is still at large and is considered armed and dangerous. There's a $30,000 reward for any information that leads to his arrest. So if you know anything, you're asked to call police. And we're live in Americus with the latest tonight. I'm Jasmine Hankerson, Fox 31 News.
It is confirmed that 32-year-old Wfxl has died as a result of gunshot wounds. Multiple agencies went to a home in a 300 block of Allen Street after they had gotten a tip that Lembrick was at that address. When they got there, they evacuated residents in the houses nearby. They tried to do negotiation. They didn't hear anything from the house. They even tried using robots to gain entrance into the house. When they finally did, that's when they found Lembrick's body. Now, we are told that the resident who called in the tip could be eligible for the $70,000 reward that was put forward. Now, we did ask Chief Mark Scott of Americus PD if they knew if Lembrick had been at that home the whole time, and he said they weren't sure. They had just been following up on some leads. Now, the officer who died in the shooting, Officer Nicholas Smar of Americus PD, has been taken to Macon for an autopsy, and his body will be brought back here.
Tonight on Fox 31 News at 10.
Perpetrator of these heinous crimes against law enforcement is not here.
Developments in a case headlining news around the nation. Both officers now dead. What we're learning about the suspect.
New tonight, a lawsuit over the proposed hospital at the Grand Island Golf Club has come to a close, at least for now. What a judge is ruling.
Some of the coldest weather of the season is on deck to push into South Georgia. How long will it last? And what about that weekend forecast? We'll have all that.
Fox 31 News starts right now.
Good evening, and thanks for watching Fox 31 News at 10. I'm Amir Jacobson.
And I'm Raymond Tubb. First on Fox 31 tonight.
know, the second officer shot in the Americus shooting yesterday died this evening. 26-year-old officer Jody Smith worked with Georgia Southwestern Police since August. The university's president released a statement saying that Smith has died of his injuries. He started in law enforcement in 2012 and also grew up in Americus. Here's what officials had to say about him during a press conference held earlier while Smith was still in the hospital in critical condition.
Fine, intelligent young man. He was attending college, getting married spring. He'd worked with us a while and had a good bit of experience, just a really good guy.
He heard that call over the radio and he took it upon himself to respond and back up his friend. I can't say enough about them. They are model officers. They're both heroes in my opinion.
The other officer, Nicholas Smar, died yesterday. He was with Americus PD, and both officers were killed after responding to that domestic dispute call at an apartment complex in Americus and engaging gunshots with the suspected shooter.
Well, the suspect in this officer-involved shooting is also dead, and with the community's help, they were able to find him earlier today.
Fox 31's Tosin Wfxl was there and connects you to the details of how this almost 48-hour manhunt ended.
An anonymous tip led police to suspect 32-year-old Wfxl Lembrick at a home in the 300 block of Allen Street.
The caller actually knew the gentleman and was there when he came to the house.
As the first responding officers were getting there, they heard what sounded like a gunshot inside the residence. They continued to set up the perimeter. A SWAT team was en route and arrived on scene.
Police tried negotiating with no response. Lembrick was later found dead with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
It does not appear that he had been there since yesterday. So where he was from this morning, short before we got the call, and through the night when we've been looking for him, I don't know.
This law enforcement agency and the men and women in this community can now go forward with healing.
And both Americus PD and Georgia Southwestern University Police will be healing for a while.
Nick and Jody were very close friends. They've been friends since high school. They went to the police academy together. They graduated police academy together. I can't say enough about them. They are model officers. They're both heroes in my opinion.
GBI is still investigating the case, but officials wanted to make one thing clear.
If we determine that someone was intentionally harboring this man, then they will face justice.
Officials said the man who called in the tip on Lembrick's location should be eligible for the $70,000 reward. Tosin Wfxl, Fox 31 News.
Now, Americus Police Chief Mark Scott confirmed that the shooting suspect, Wfxl Lembrick, is the person who posted a Facebook video saying goodbye to loved ones. That video got dozens of comments. Take a listen to it.
Man, I miss y'all folk, man.
Now, if you are just joining us, here's a brief recap of the fatal shooting that happened in Americus yesterday morning. Officer Nicholas Ryan Smar died shortly after that shooting. It happened on the south side of Griffinbell Golf Course at an apartment complex in Sumter County. A golf course is a little more than a mile from the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. Officer Smar was answering a domestic dispute call at that apartment complex. Officer Jody Smith, an officer with Georgia Southwestern, also responded to the call for backup for Officer Smar. As you heard a minute ago, we now know that Officer Smith made it through surgery at the Medical Center and Office of Health in Macon, but later died. Wfxl Lembrick was also confirmed dead just before 12:30 this afternoon. There was a $70,000 reward up for grabs for information leading to his arrest.
From WFXL TV, this is Fox 31 News at 10.
Welcome back to Fox 31 News at 10. I'm Amir Jacobson.
And I'm Raymond Tubb.
A somber scene in Americus this morning where a processional carrying Officer Nicholas Ryan Smar made its way back home. Officer Smar died from his injuries after he was shot near the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University yesterday. Campus police officer Jody Smith was taken to the Medical Center and Office of Health in Macon. He was listed in stable condition, but we now know that he has also died. America's Chief of Police, Mark Smith, stepped to the podium. It is Mark Scott, stepped to the podium this morning to update the community on the condition of Officer Jody Smith, who was reportedly in stable condition this morning, but has since died. Chief Scott says that Officer Smith and Officer Smar were there for each other until the end.
They've been friends. They're lifelong friends. They graduated the police academy together. There's been pictures that people have pulled from social media that show them standing in the same uniform. They did work together when they first got started in policing. They were friends until the end.
We also now know that the accused gunman in that fatal Americus shooting is dead. Menquel Kennedy Limbrick died from a self-inflicted gunshot earlier this afternoon after a standoff with officers there. Americus Police Chief Mark Scott confirmed that the shooting suspect, Menquel Limbrick, is the same person who posted his Facebook video saying goodbye to loved ones. That video got dozens of comments.
Man, I'm gonna miss y'all folk, man.
Now, if you are just joining us, we've got a brief recap of the fatal shooting that happened in Americus yesterday morning. Officer Nicholas Ryan Smar died shortly after that shooting happened on the south side of Griffin Bell Golf Course at an apartment complex in Sumter County. That golf course is just a little more than a mile from the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. Officer Smar was answering a domestic dispute call at that apartment complex. Officer Jody Smith with the Georgia Southwestern University responded to the call for a backup for Officer Smar. The two knew each other. And as you heard a few moments ago, Officer Smith made it through surgery at the Medical Center in Opposite Health in Macon, but then died earlier today. Menquel Limbrick was confirmed dead just before 12:30 this afternoon. There was a $70,000 reward for information that led to his arrest or capture.
With your News Minute, I'm Tosin Fakile. We now know the second officer shot in the Americus shooting yesterday died this evening. 26-year-old Officer Jody Smith worked with Georgia Southwestern Police since August. The university's president released a statement about an hour ago saying that Smith died of his injuries. Smith started in law enforcement in 2012. Smith worked as a deputy sheriff with Sumter County Sheriff's Office and served as a part-time officer with Plains PD. He also grew up in Americus. Here's what Georgia Southwestern Police Chief had to say about Smith during a press conference held earlier this evening while Smith was in critical condition.
Fine, intelligent young man. He was attending college, getting married spring. He'd worked with us a while and had a good bit of experience. Just a really good guy.
We'll have more from day 2 in Americus after the shooting coming up tonight on Fox 31.